Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Diana Ross is an embodiment of her own song with the Supremes, I'm Gonna Make You Love Me. Born in Detroit, Michigan, Ross and her girl group, the Primettes, got involved in the prime years of Motown, largely due to their talents, but also due to the admiration Ross inspired in her friend Smokey Robinson and one-time lover Berry Gordy. Ross was soon promoted to frontwoman of the Supremes, leading the group to be renamed Diana Ross and the Supremes. They became one of the best-selling girl groups of all time, defining the sound of Motown, the sound of the 60s, and ultimately the sound of soul. Once she left the Supremes, Ross proved she was a shining star in her own right with her solo music career and her foray onto the silver screens. Ross' life has been full of bright lights and thunderous applause, but there have been phases of darkness too. Here's more about the life of the Supreme star. Diana Ross grew up in the house of 633 Belmont Street in northeast Detroit, per the Detroit News. When she was 8 years old, she met her neighbor, the singer Smokey Robinson, who was 4 years her senior. Right down the street from me, there was a young man by the name of Smokey Robinson. Ross told Interview magazine in 1981, I was very proud to live down the street from him because he was our only celebrity in town. He was singing with the Miracles. His niece, Sharon, was one of my best friends, so I spent a lot of time at his house. In fact, Robinson could be credited with starting Ross' career. He was involved with Detroit's only recording studio, Tumblr Motown, and he reconnected Ross' group with executive Berry Gordy after Ross asked him to listen to their music. Robinson also wrote some of the Supremes' earliest releases, including Breathtaking Guy and Ask Any Girl. According to Oprah, Aretha Franklin also grew up down the street from Robinson and Ross. The Supremes, then called the Primettes, were invited to audition for Motown following their participation in a Canadian talent show. As noted in Suzanne E. Smith's Dancing in the Street, Motown and the cultural politics of Detroit, with a leg up from Diana Ross' former neighbor Smokey Robinson. The group auditioned for Motown executive Berry Gordy in August 1960, but when Gordy learned the members of the Primettes were just 16 years old, he told them to come back when they graduated from high school. Ross recounted in an interview with Pop Chronicles, and come back they did. Gordy agreed to sign the group in 1961 on the condition that they change their name to something more marketable per Smith. The group considered names such as the Melodies, the Sweet Peas, and the Juletes before landing on the very marketable name, the Supremes. Still, even as the year 1964 dawned, the group was often referred to as No Hit Supremes by employees and executives at Hitsville, USA. According to history, the group's breakthrough hit, Where Did Our Love Go, came later that year and sparked a chain reaction. The hit-making Supremes went on to see a streak of 5 consecutive #1 hits between July 1964 and May 1965. Following the Primettes' first Motown audition in 1960, Berry Gordy hired Diana Ross as his secretary with poor results. She was so bad as a secretary that I had to let her go, Gordy told Rolling Stone in 1990. You know, my messages were mixed up and Gordy's fondness of Ross was apparent soon after he signed the Supremes. I made the choices of who sung lead and my opinion was always that Diana had the magic and Mary Wilson did not, he told Rolling Stone. And it was perhaps favoritism because Diana was a favorite of mine, but she had the talent to justify that favoritism. Gordy got involved with Ross, who was 14 years his junior, at some point after his 1964 divorce. It's very clear why I fell in love with Diana, he told Vanity Fair in 2008. She was my star and she came from the bottom up with her. It was not only fun, it was just like heaven working with her because she would surpass anything. And she always kept her self-esteem. She always told me, if you think it, I can do it, and she did. Still, Gordy and Ross did not end up together. In an interview with Barbara Walters, Gordy said the pair split because he was more in love with her becoming the biggest star in the world, adding, I said, if this is going to get in the way, we can't do it. In late 1970, after their initial breakup, Diana Ross and Berry Gordy slept together per in style. A month or two later, Ross married music executive Robert Ellis Silverstein. About 7 months after that, Ross gave birth to a girl named Rhonda, who was presumed to be Silverstein's daughter. Silverstein was white and Rhonda clearly resembled Gordy, which led Ross and Gordy to acknowledge the truth. When she had the child, she had no idea that it was mine, Gordy told Barbara Walters, but Diana and I discussed it and we realized that it was indeed my child. Rhonda did not know Gordy was her father until she was 13 years old. She felt that the child should not know anything until she was able to handle it and understand it. Gordy told Playboy she made a wise decision because when she did tell her, Rhonda was able to handle it well. Rhonda later said she was not totally surprised by the revelation. The bottom line was I looked just like Gordy and my sisters looked just like their father, a 6-foot-tall Jewish American man, she told the New York Post. Ross revealed the information to the public during a 1993 interview on the Oprah Winfrey Show via the Chicago Tribune. By March 1966, Diana Ross and the Supremes had had been caught in a flurry of concert performances, television appearances, interview requests, and endless rehearsing and recording efforts. According to J. Randy, Tara Bareilles, Diana Ross autobiography, Ross was down to just 93 pounds at the time. Ross wrote about her weight issues in her 1993 memoir, Secrets of Sparrow. Sometimes the stress got so bad I could not eat, she recalled. I just could not swallow anything. I would put food in my mouth, but my jaws would clamp together and I could not chew. It got so bad that I could not even tolerate the smell of food. It was too pungent for me. Perhaps it was form of anorexia. I was becoming skin and bones. Although the Supremes were at the top, I felt as if I were sitting at the bottom of the deep, dark pit. While performing in Boston in 1966, the Supremes emerged on stage through a shimmering pink curtain, wearing white chiffon floor-length gowns illuminated by blue and white spotlights. But halfway through a performance of I Hear a Symphony, Ross stopped singing, backed away from her microphone and covered her ears. What's happening to me? Ross said on stage, I feel so small. I'm getting smaller and smaller. Ross was escorted off stage and remainder of the Supreme Boston concert run was cancelled. In May 2002, Diana Ross checked into Malibu's Promises Treatment Center, a facility for individualized treatment for drug addiction, alcoholism, and other chemical dependencies through daily educational lectures, relapse prevention skills, group therapy sessions, equine therapy, and art therapy per CNN. Our publicist Paul Bloch released a statement that said Ross was at Promises to clear up some personal issues because she wanted to be in great shape because she is someone who feels a sense of responsibility to her family and her fans. That August, she cancelled her summer concert tour per ABC News. 7 months later in December, Ross was arrested for drinking drunk in Tucson, Arizona. A breathalyzer test revealed that she had a blood alcohol level of 0.20, more than twice the state's legal limit of 0.08 and higher than the 0.15 mark for an extreme DUI. According to Today, she was convicted of a DUI and sentenced to 2 days in jail, which she completed at the Greenwich Police Department in Connecticut. Thanks for watching. Like, share and subscribe.